Okay. We should be back. I'll just wait for everyone to come in. And also, let me make sure that on Twitter, everyone knows that the dual streaming is not working. Yeah, I know why it's not working though. I figured out the pattern here. So essentially what's happening is that I use Streamlabs for dual streaming, right? Because I have a one PC setup. Uh and let me see. Actually, we are only on YouTube today. And let me get the link. And because I use that service, what happens is every time I dual stream on State of Play or anything like that, it mirrors or it's working for everybody, right? So everybody is on it simultaneously. And the issue is that because everyone gets on it simultaneously, the server becomes overloaded, and that's the problem. So that's also why when I stop the dual stream, that fixes it almost instantly. Guys, not to mention that I had like a power outage earlier. So hopefully that doesn't also be there. CC is Crossy. I see Black Lion Guard. Okay, I see Twitch chat showing up. I think I see Clax. Yeah, I see Clax. Okay, Twitch chat's found out. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Next time we know, and next time we'll just do this. We'll just do it on fucking YouTube. It's whatever, but there's still a bit of lag. Really? Shouldn't be. Bruh, is America falling apart that bad? Worse than you know. It's not on you, it's likely on the service you use. It's 100% on the service. It's just unfortunate, but we can deal with it. 13 doesn't even need a remaster, just port it over. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. First of all, I think like as a 13 fan, like you should want some of the criticisms of it to just be addressed. I would think, I would imagine, right? Like, and also too, I think that a 13 could be so much better if they like went back and touched it. I don't think they need to do like deep remastering work per se. I just think that they need to, well, actually they do kind of need to do deep remastering work, but not in terms of the visuals, in terms of the gameplay. I don't know. Yeah, I can't agree that it only needs a port, personally speaking. I think it needs more than like a port. I want a version of 13 that makes me like 13. And it's so funny because in so many ways, I'm so fucking close to being able to say I think 13 is a good but flawed Final Fantasy, but there's just so many small things that make it like fall closer to being not good for me. Right? Like, for example, if I can just switch party members mid battle, that would be enough to tip Final Fantasy 13 into good but flawed. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get the attention that it deserves. I think 13 I was thinking about this yesterday because I was listening to Resident Arc's podcast on 13's music. And as I was like watching that, I kind of felt this nostalgia for 13. And I still get kind of nostalgia for 13. And it sucks because I'm like, fuck. I'm almost close. I actually have warm feelings thinking about 13. I do. Would you want them to redesign the maps to avoid hallways? I think once you start redesigning the maps, you have to do a remake. You know what I'm saying? I take a complete rework of the Crystarium in 13. Think like Expert Sphere Grid that was added in 10 International, which us Europeans got as our base PS2 FF10. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I was thinking, I'm like, fuck. I do like the art of Final Fantasy 13, and I do like the music of Final Fantasy 13, and I like lightning. I'm maining lightning in Dissidia Duellum, or Duellum. I'm actually still not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I'm a lightning main. I am actually maybe one of the only 13 haters that's not a that's not also a lightning hater. I think she's a cool, very cool Nomura character. I do think that there are some issues on how they kind of presented some stuff in her character, like in the way they presented her character arc in a lot of ways. If I was to kind of be like a little bit specific about it, it's more like, for example, Final Fantasy VII made really good use of flashback scenes, and there are flashback scenes in Final Fantasy 13, obviously, but I think there needed to be more that kind of depicted some of the stuff, like when Lightning was talking about how she gained her name Lightning, when she was having that conversation with Hope. I think that conversation would have been so amazing if in that conversation we actually got a flashback to Lightning as a young girl and her parents dying, and we see her taking that name upon herself. You know what I'm saying? Like her being like, okay, I have to be strong for my big sis, and then actually showing that. Instead, that's kind of just like told to Hope directly. It's a compelling story, but unfortunately the way it's actually told is like, could have actually been better. And that's generally the issue with 13 in general, is that, or a lot of modern FF, I think, it's just that it's not that the stories are bad, it's just that the way they tell them a lot of times is not as good as it could have been. Zorofan777, thank you so much for this super chat. Bro, can I please see Dragon Quest 12? No. But thank you for the super chat. There is no Dragon Quest 12, brother. Please enjoy Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, releasing in February. I didn't hate Hope. I did not hate Hope. The only character I truly hate in 13, like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it, is Snow. He's the only one where I'm just like, I just tap out. I'm like, okay, I can't do it. I can like, or at least be neutral on most of 13's characters. Like, I love Lightning. I actually think Lightning's really cool. I like Hope. Hope in combat is like a beast. He is like literally, for a good chunk of the game, objectively like one of the best party members, because he's the first one to get haste, if I recall correctly. And haste in that game is fucking everything. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in just showing Dragon Quest 12 when, like, literally Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined is in like a couple months, right? And that is, you know, as great of a remake as 1 through 3 seem to be, 7 is like, you know, that's like definitely the biggest Dragon Quest remake that we've seen so far. So anyway, I don't expect if 13 remaster happens, which if Square had anything here, I do think 13 remaster is like a reasonable thing to happen, reasonable thing to get announced. I think it's kind of overdue at this point. But yeah, I would be excited for 13 remaster. I want to give 13 a shot. Like I said, I want to like 13. I really do. And I can talk about 13 highly in a lot of ways. Because 13 is just not a game that I look at and think everything about that was bad. It's really a game that I look at and I think, why did you make some of these choices? For sure. In fact, I would almost go as to say that 13 is a game that I look at and I feel like frustration with, not because the game necessarily is horrible, but because I think I'm just like, dude, there are just so many small things that you could have done, and this would have actually been like pretty fucking decent. And I'm just like, but you chose to not do that. Like, it's not even like they didn't think of it or they couldn't implement it. It's just like they made a lot of choices that, and then they undid most of those choices in 13 too. You know, they fixed most of it. What do you mean in SP? You're supposed to love or hate something without nuance. The internet said so. I know. I think that's how like most of video game discourse tends to be. It's like you're all in on being a hater or you're all in on being like, this is actually the greatest game ever. And there's few games that I feel that way about, you know? It's okay, dude. You can say it's horrible. No, because I don't think it's horrible. I think it's almost good. That's like the best way I can like describe it. Um it's like right there for me. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's almost great, like almost like an all-timer Final Fantasy, but it's almost within like of like a tier for me where I'm like, okay, that's a really good FF game. But it just makes all these little small decisions that I'm like, this fucking sucks. But the thing is, yeah. Speaking of 13, there's a good 13 seconds of lag still. If you want to try to fix it, probably best to do so. What do you mean by 13 seconds of lag? You mean like... Also, thank you for the super chat. I mean, YouTube is normally behind in terms of that. So there's always like maybe 5 or 10 seconds of lag on YouTube. In terms of like, if you mean like in the stream, like, is it choppy? I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look choppy on my end or anything. There will definitely be NSP. You're so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, I got bullied growing up for being ugly. I probably deserved it. I'm not gonna lie. I did so much weird shit with my hair. Terrible acne on my face. Oh, oh yeah. Chat is just gonna have a delay on it. That's just hard baked into YouTube. Yeah, there's like nothing you can do about that. But also, thank you again for the super chat. Yeah, that's unfortunately just baked in to YouTube. You are not ugly. Shut up. No, no, no. I'm just saying that's what they called me. That's what they said about me. I think nowadays I'm all right. I'm decent nowadays. What were we saying? Oh yeah, yeah. So if they do Final Fantasy 13 remaster, um, I just want it to, again, party members swapping the game to not force me to play as a character if I don't want to play them. Because the biggest fault of Final Fantasy 13 and the reason why a lot of people don't like the combat in 13 is not actually even the fault of the combat in 13. It's the fault of the way 13 structures and introduces the combat, right? So for like the first 20 hours of the game, you cannot use the full combat system, which really sucks. It's so slow. As you get more abilities, however, and as the game begins to challenge you more, the combat actually starts to be really good. As especially like once you get to mid to late game, you have like 5 or 6 ATB bars and you can do a whole ton of different things. That's when the combat gets good. All I need them to do is push some of that stuff forward, right? Like, make it so that I can always choose who my party leader is. I always thought the leader dying auto wiping you is wild. It is a wild choice. I'm not a fan of it because it makes sense in Megaton games, right? Like it makes sense in Persona and Atlas games because the thing is that you should have prepared properly for the boss to know what types of abilities they're going to use on you. And if you are weak, then the game will punish you for that, right? So it's about going in prepared and knowing what that preparation is. And sometimes that means going in and failing for the first time that you try to approach that boss, right? First few times, even. And then slowly putting together a build that allows you to work around it. But the problem with death of the main character in Final Fantasy 13 is that one, there's just no real narrative reason for it. Also, two, it's not like you can like 100% prepare for it. Like if the main character dies in Persona, that's your fucking fault, period. I've only had the MC dying make me have a game over, like, in all the Persona games I've played. I think that has only happened, like, once or twice. Like, it just does not frequently happen, right? Whereas in Final Fantasy 13, that was a frequent reason for me getting game over. Wake, thank you so much for the super chat. Yo, NSP, you going to do a Dissidia beta stream? The only reason I have not done a stream of Duellum is purely because it's only available from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. and it fucks my sleep so bad. I've already been, staying up to about midnight playing the game, and it's already obliterated my sleep. So, unfortunately, during this closed beta, it's just too hard for me to do it. And also the closed beta ends on Friday. So, not being able to choose which party member is the leader until the last part of 13 is wild. I hope only gets one playable chapter left. Yeah, it's one of those decisions where I'm like, this is like one of those like really small things that they could have done something else with, and it would have been great. Or not great, but I would have like... I think the combat would have been much greater for it, but I think I would have really enjoyed the game. And it's just like those small things that they do that make me like, ooh, I'm not enjoying myself as much. So if they just had consideration for just those small things, again, it would bump my enjoyment up immensely. Immensely. Is Duellum good? Or Duellum? How the fuck do you actually say it? Is there a way? Do we have an official? I kind of like Duellum more. Is there a way to say it? Let me look at the katakana. Oh, it is Duellum. Duellum. Yeah, Duellum. Yeah, it is Duellum. Okay. Good. That makes sense. Most people are going to say Dissidia Duellum. But it is, in fact, Duellum, according to the katakana here. The core game of Duellum is good. The microtransactions are insane. Master Key just put it best. That's literally the review. Is Duellum good? Good if you aren't a whale, exceedingly lucky on your gacha pulls. Yeah, that's basically it. The problem with Duellum is that it's actually an amazing game. And when you start playing it, you're like, dude, this game is awesome. I'm having so much fun. I'm actually glad that they made this shit. I didn't think I'd be here. And then, as you start playing it, problems start arising that interfere with how the game feels. And you start noticing things, and I think I still enjoy the game despite that. But it sucks because the game could be great, but that prevents it from being great. For example, there is what's his name? He's from like FF2, I think. Minwoo Teleport. That's what the ability's name is. It's named after him. And essentially what it does is, I believe it allows you to teleport to the nearest crystal, right? And the crystal allows you to basically get the most amount of brave points. And Duellum isn't like other Dissidia games where the amount of brave you matters most in like PvP stuff. It matters most for attacking the boss, because you have to get max bravery in order to do what's called a burst, where you can actually do damage to the boss. Yes, you can reach crystals you normally can't, right? It literally like lets you teleport through a fucking wall and get to the crystal faster. When getting to the crystals fast is an essential part of the game in order to brave farm, and someone else is able to gacha pull that ability, and I don't, and they can teleport to the crystal, and I have to fucking run to it. What do you do? How do you fucking win against that? Like, what do you fucking do? Klax, thank you for the $13.07 super chat. I don't think that it's likely Kingdom Hearts shows here, but do you think there's anything Cage Combat could learn from 7R? For example, using an improved command system based on 7R's classic style. I think that they semi-added something in 3 where you can like slow down the menu whenever you're going to select stuff. I thought that was actually pretty cool. That idea probably came while they were working on 7R, and then they just put it in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know if there is anything that KH could learn from 7R, because I think that 7R is just such a different variant of Kingdom Hearts command action hybrid gameplay that I don't know if anything would be compatible from 7R back to Kingdom Hearts. I do think that Kingdom Hearts stuff can probably go to 7R, but I don't know if anything from 7R can go back to Kingdom Hearts. Could you see an FF game with KH combat like what Versus 13 was going for? Yeah. Actually, again, somehow this comes up every stream, but it's one of the things I found frustrating about FF16's combat design, because I'm like, basically they already made an action RPG that has elemental weaknesses, that has party members, that has all the type of RPG elements and progression systems that people are looking for. And they know how to make those things work in an action game context. And then they just like didn't. They just got rid of all that. They just like said like, nah, we actually just don't want to do that. They actually had KH staff available because they weren't confident enough, or not confident enough. That's, what's the way I want to say it? They wanted their expertise, basically. And so it just makes me baffled that that's like kind of the game they choose to design, when KH already like literally solved all those issues, and proved that you can make a really awesome action game without stripping those elements. And in fact, you can include those elements, and then it makes it a really unique, interesting action game. So I don't know why that happened, but to answer your question, yeah, I do think that KH combat could make for a really interesting Final Fantasy game. And I think that 7R is a variant of that, and I think it works really well. Yeah, so I don't think that. Well, because a lot of people also ask, they're like, well, they should reuse 16 combat, and then they should implement those things. But I'm like, they chose to not implement those things because they thought it did not make the game a better game, right? They wanted to make a hack and slash that did not have those things, because they did not think those things would make a more interesting action game. So to ask them to put those things back in is to literally go against the design. It's literally to say that the design choice was not a good idea at its core. It's not like they made a Final Fantasy game and then they said, oh my God, we just forgot to add the party members, or this game, oh, we just didn't have any room for it in the design for this game. It was a conscious decision, right? That they said, no, we specifically do not want to do that for this game. We do not think it makes our game a better game, because the default decision for Final Fantasy games is always to have party members, right? It's always on the table. So, 16 combat I like, but not having elemental weaknesses hurts it so much. See, this is the thing though, is that like, I think that people like the feel of controlling Clive, but 16's combat fundamentally breaks if there's no elemental weaknesses. Because if you have elemental weaknesses, then you're not free to express your combos in the way that you want. It's why most action games forego really leaning in heavy on elemental weaknesses. And if they do have elemental weaknesses, they have like 2 elements, right? It's not like an elemental chart that like, that you'd find in like other RPGs where there's different, like this massive web of rock, paper, scissors, in terms of how the elements are laid out. So anyways, to answer your question, yeah, I think that Kingdom Hearts combat would make for an amazing Final Fantasy game, and they should have made Versus 13. which was going to be that game. But I still think that in a way we got a variant of Kingdom Hearts combat in Final Fantasy, and that's Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I think that the changes that they made for Remake are more appropriate for what Final Fantasy is compared to, say, like what Kingdom Hearts is. So, yeah, I really do think that, we kind of ended up with it anyway. Um, just make a triangle weakness system, like just 3 elements. Yeah. I mean, I guess like the thing that you could do is not nerf the damage, but like just boost it. So you have damage multipliers for elements. So you can still like do fire on a fire enemy, but you won't get like a elemental multiplier, right? Um, that's like one way you could do it. FF7 trilogy is definitely descended from Cage Combat. Yeah, for sure, no question. It's a crossbreed of Final Fantasy 13's DNA and Kingdom Hearts' DNA, and then like a third secret thing, which I guess would be the original FF7. Nintendo will sue someone if it uses the rock paper scissors system from Fire Emblem in another RPG. I know. And story and gameplay, for me, are like pretty interlinked. And so it's really hard uh to separate the two fully. I do think that if you only have to have one, though, probably should be gameplay. Because I think it's probably a lot easier to get through a game and the story sucks, but the game is still really fun to play. Plenty of games I play don't really have like a super amazing story. But when it comes down to it, they're just fun video games. And so I also think that I know this sounds bad for like someone who supposedly loves narrative in video games, but I do think that a game needs to be good to play. Like I do. Even beyond story, I think that the interactive part needs to be meaningful for the story to actually have context, right? The reason I say that is because you really do need to answer the question, why is this not a book or a film? Right? Because if it's literally just about story, in a lot of cases, book and film in terms of like purely distilled story stuff are a better medium if you just want to tell a story. Like if that's the only thing you want to do, write a book or make a film. In order for a game to really justify its existence in terms of a narrative experience, it does have to say the interactivity of playing this actually makes this a better story, actually makes this a more well-delivered story. Silent Hill F is a great example. You legitimately cannot make a book or a film that accurately gives you the experience of Silent Hill F. That's the narrative potential of video games, right? Like it's like if it's just like, oh well, the game sucks, but it has a good story, then I'm like, well, you should have just wrote a fucking book. Because then you would just have a great book. But now you have a shitty video game with a good story. Right? So I think that the interactive part does have to be in sync with the story that they're trying to tell. Otherwise, they made a poor choice to tell a great story inside of a poorly made video game. So Near Automata, Silent Hill F, yeah, those are great examples. The Last of Us 2. Um, what else? I mean, most Final Fantasy games. Well, I'd say a good chunk of some Final Fantasy games probably could just be, but I do think that most Final Fantasy games benefit from being video games. Um, so yeah, I do think that the game has to, like, the story has to benefit from it being a game. And if the story doesn't benefit from being a game, then don't make it a game. Expedition 33. There's a great example too. That is a game whose narrative actually like benefits from it being a game. And I don't just mean the ending either, endings. Although multiple endings. Alan Wake, great example. Metal Gear Solid, great example. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's not to say that like um it's not to diminish games that, I guess it is to diminish them. But it's not to say that there aren't great stories trapped behind horrendously bad gameplay. But I think that like in most cases those games tend to be better off as, or would have been better off as, a book or a film. Um, I think that video game narratives are at their best when the story is literally enhanced. It is literally a better story because it is a video game that you interact with and that you walk around the world, and it tells its story in a way that films and books cannot tell their stories. And having like lived experience in a world from interacting with characters and making choices, stuff like that. Tons of Western RPGs are classic examples of this. Incredible branching narratives and quest design, cheeks gameplay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's also the thing though, is that you can still kind of ultimately say that those are games that are better stories because they are video games, right? Like The Witcher 3's combat sucks. Like it just sucks. But The Witcher 3 is still amazing because it's a video game, because it's a world that you go around, because of the side quest and the different branching narratives, and like a book or a film just can't do that. Josh Z, thank you so much for this super chat. People forget that 13 gave us the stagger system, which I consider a core mechanic of modern FF. So even this modern era has positive consistencies. Thank you so much for this super chat, Josh. It is kind of funny though that the stagger bar is like the one thing that weirdly all the creative studios and everyone in Square like agrees upon with Final Fantasy at the moment. And I'm not saying it's like beyond it being good or bad. I'm just like very fascinated that that's like the one thing that they're like all like knights of the round standing in a circle being like, it's got to have a fucking stagger bar on it. Like it's just like, it's such an interesting thing for them to kind of all universally agree on, considering how divisive, I mean, even within the different studios, and not to say that they're like sitting there arguing about stuff, but just to say that like their takeaways and their visions are so in radically different directions that it just is surprising that that ended up being like the one thing that everyone was like, yep, Stagger Bar is the GOAT. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Witcher 3 combat sucks. Thank you. I got flamed so much for publishing an op-ed about that. Bro, it does suck. It's like the one thing I'm most hoping that they improve in The Witcher 4. That combat is just not good, man. It's just not. Um it even has like even the sound effects on it suck. Like it feels like you're hitting nothing. I don't know how to describe it. It has some of the worst sound effects in any action game I have ever touched. Like the sound effects sound like you're hitting nothing. There's no weight to the feeling of combat. It's But none of that actually still makes it a bad game because I don't think that combat is the core function or the core appeal of The Witcher 3. I think it's the questing and the role playing that you engage with in the game that's so compelling. Ciri is generally faster and flashier than Geralt, so I'm hoping Witcher 4 combat will be better. Yeah, so you guys are gonna maybe hate me for saying this. I don't want Ciri to end up playing like Dante though, because I think that's like a really easy route for them to go, and I don't want her to. I don't want the game to be too hack and slashy, right? Like I wouldn't want Ciri to feel like Nero or Clive, because I feel like I wouldn't want that direction for The Witcher. I just don't think it's a good fit for her to be like too hack and slashy, Not to say she can't have sauce. I mean, she already does in like The Witcher 3 for sure. But I want it to be like a little bit more weighted. You know what I'm saying? I think that The Witcher has to stay a little bit more grounded than say like basically being a hack and slash where Ciri is doing like juggles and shit. I think that's too much for The Witcher, and then that becomes kind of crazy, right? Like I don't think it should be like a Souls or anything like that, but I also don't think that it should go like full character action game either. I think it should be weighted, but I think that it should also have like, because Ciri can do all that like teleportation shit and warp around. So yeah, I want it to have a heavy feeling to it, but I don't want it to be so heavy that yeah, your Twitch is offline. Yeah, the dual streaming craps out. So basically we can't dual stream the State of Play. The reason is because I use Streamlabs to mirror the stream because I don't have a 2 PC setup. I guess I could locally do it because my graphics card could definitely handle it, but I use that service to multiply my stream. The problem is that everyone else who streams the State of Play is also using it. And what happens is that their servers start to buckle under the weight of everyone streaming the State of Play. That's why it's been a consistent thread where every time I stream the State of Play, we have issues. I figured out the pattern. So yeah, the copium for 13 Remaster and why it even came up is that Yuki Kaji is the voice actor or the seiyuu for Hope in 13. So some people are thinking like, hey, they have Hope on there. Maybe Final Fantasy 13 Remaster. Cheating on Twitch with YouTube while wearing Twitch's tank top. Meta levels of genius. Thank you. Siri gonna activate her Sandevistan. Yeah, I do think you should be able to do some saucy hack and slash like things though in in Witcher 4 for sure, which I think you can already kind of vaguely do in The Witcher. But like I said, I don't want it to go like full Bayonetta. Like I don't think it should be that type of like flashy combo centric game, because I just don't think that when you like look at Witcher lore and stuff that's like the kind of fit I think for like how the depiction of fighting monsters. Of course it is like you are superhuman, but I don't think it is like gravity defying, like you know what I'm saying? It's not that level of like anime type expression. I feel like that would be like ill fit. Unless they change 13's gameplay, basically remake it to not be a corridor, I don't see it selling well. Well, okay. So if I was to like make a wish on some shit that I'm not going to get at all whatsoever, Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 15 remake. And I don't even wish for remakes like that, but if we're going to do it, I would say remake 13 and 15 and give them 7R combat. But that's a pipe dream that won't happen. But I think that would actually be pretty cool. And not even that I hate 13's combat, but I think that would actually be cool. Let me see if I can theater mode. There we go. Oops. Oops. Motherfucker. Let me just do it like this. That way you guys can see the countdown timer. And perfect. Whether something sells or not is complicated. Pricing, market trend, scope of project. Majority of gamers only play a couple of games a year. Yeah, this is where I can really hit you guys with another hot take, honestly. I I think that on top of, obviously we need to get the price of games under control, because I do think that video games are like priced too high, obviously. Or at least too high for like most people to be able to afford a steady amount of them. But I think part of the way that we achieve that is that we make video games shorter than they currently are. And I know a lot of people are going to say, what? You want to make video games shorter? And yes, I do. I think that video games being shorter would benefit the industry in multiple ways. The first is that we don't have to spend as much money making a 100-hour game. If you could half the length of that, then you could cut back on quite a bit of the expense. The second thing is that one of the reasons why people aren't buying more games is because, obviously, other than the price, which again has a lot to do with how much is packed into these video games and how much graphical fidelity they have, is the fact that, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, yeah. We're taking so long on games, right? Because, like, if you buy, let's just arbitrarily say, if you buy Tears of the Kingdom, right? A game that you can easily spend like 100 hours on. or Baldur's Gate or anything like that, where you spend 100 plus hours. That means that you are probably on that game for months, right? Like, unless you are able to no life it multiple times, in a month, you're able to dedicate 8+ hours to playing the game. There is just no way that you can finish that within a single month or 2 months or 3 months. You know what happens like when you're watching like a television series, right? If I'm watching a television series and a new season of a show comes out and that season is 8 episodes, right? And I watch 1 episode a night with my dinner. Then in 1 week, I can get through that entire season of that television show, right? So you have 1 week for completion with you only spending a casual hour dedicated to that TV show each week, versus like to complete like a 100-hour game, you need to be dedicating at least 2 hours a day for 50 days. That's insane, dog. That's 2 fucking months. Assuming that you have 2 hours every day for 50 days to dedicate to that game. And then you're supposed to not feel burnt out by the end. It's like really funny when people say like, oh, I got burnt out on Rebirth by the end. Of course you fucking did. The game's over 100 goddamn hours. Of course you did. Any game that lasts that long, I'm almost always burnt out by the end of it. Because of fucking course. You've been playing the same thing for like 2 or 3 months. Unless you no life it. In which case, it's the only thing you've been doing. The only game you've been playing. Of course you're burnt out on it. Yeah, and to be clear, I'm not saying that like 100-hour games no longer need to exist, but the amount of them is absurd. Most games do not need to be 100 hours or anywhere close to it. Yep, and then we have the insane quantity of games in 2025 to the point of where games aren't doing particularly well, and those same games would have done better in another market year. Yep. We literally just have too many great games. Like, there's just too many great games to choose from. And they're all very fucking long to the point of where, again, even if you're dedicating 2 hours a day, which a lot of adults just don't have, they have like the weekend and they have like, maybe an hour, a couple hours. And so 100 hours. And then also, have you guys ever looked at the trophy rates for people who complete games and saw how fucking low it is compared to people who buy the games and start them? And you realize that most people don't fucking finish games. And so a lot of games are being made and people aren't even fucking playing them. They're not even playing the whole ass game. So tell me again, why are we making 80 to 100-hour games and most people aren't even seeing the end of those games? They're just like, you know what I'm saying? Spending hundreds of millions of dollars to make something that's impressive on that end, but still doesn't actually make it necessarily a better game. So all these problems are interlinked, right? $70 games, maybe even $80 games. The fact that games just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but they're also not necessarily like getting better as a result of being bigger. They're just getting more bloated. So you're getting more shit like, lots of side quests that you can do that suck. And I'm just gonna another controversial take on top of this one. Why not? I think that most side quests in most games suck. I think that only like a very few number of games actually have like exceptionally good and fun side content. Most just suck. Like they do. They're just there to like do a thing to make you get a dopamine hit when you complete them. But if you honestly ask yourself when you complete most side quests, did I really have fun doing that? I promise you, maybe it's just me, but I feel pretty confident in saying you'll actually be like, you're right. That is kind of ass. Yeah, side quests are great when it's The Witcher 3, when it's Baldur's Gate 3. But like, most games are not The Witcher 3 or Baldur's Gate 3. They're green quest slop. they're quest marker slop. And then that's it, right? And then you go and you do the quest marker, and then that's it. I actually do think that Rebirth had quite a bit of fun side content to do. I think that most of the problem with Rebirth in terms of side content had to do with the lack of filter for what they put in there. So I think that they needed to edit down some of the stuff that they had. Like, for example, I think Queen's Blood was some of the most fun that I've had with side content in a video game ever. Queen's Blood was that fun, right? And it got to a point where, I was going around doing Queen's Blood side quests purely because Queen's Blood was fun, and not because of the rewards, not because it was something that I was supposed to do, to clear the map. And so, I feel like side quests in general have not been additive to video games. I think that side quests suck, and they've been maybe even a net negative to video games and video game storytelling. I'm not saying that side quests can't be good. They can be. I just think that most video games do not implement them well. Most video games, I do the side content because the game is like, you'll get more powerful if you do the side content. You'll get the good weapon. You'll get, the trophies and achievements or like whatever. But like, is most side content good, fulfilling, builds the world, makes you feel like, oh my God, I'm truly immersed in this experience? No. Most side content is there to make you feel better about spending $70. That is why side content exists in the way that it does now. How good or bad side quests are is tied to the game's writing quality. Yeah, for sure. And then also, because side quests are like, they're typically not going to put as much budget into side quests. So a lot of the times from a game design perspective, they tend to be a lot more dry than the main quest. Yeah, this is actually a great point, Jake. This is actually a great point. For me, I want side quests in my game, but I prefer quality over quantity. I prefer 15 great side quests over 50 mostly shitty ones. Yes. I think that's exactly it. I think it'd be awesome if there were video games, like RPGs, and they had like 15 side quests or less. But each one of those side quests was actually like a deeply interesting side story within the game. that actually like led to stuff and like told like its own compelling narrative, and that effort was put in to like this ongoing side story, right? Like these side stories inside the world that actually felt really compelling and fleshed out and meaningful. But we don't have 5, 10, 15 really S tier side quests. Sometimes we do within a game, but it'll be accompanied by like 50 other like mid tier, go here, fetch the thing for me side quests. Yeah. We should have more games that are there aren't many side quests, but every single side quest is an incredible side story. Golden Age FF, Final Fantasy 6 through 10 had that in spades. Yeah, they did. Um, I think Expedition 33 also does it pretty well too, where each piece of side content in that game is actually, I mean, and maybe not all of it, but like a lot of it is actually like really interesting. And you do find and discover a lot of interesting things. And there's a lot of rewarding and different gameplay challenges to stuff. Super bosses, things like that. Did you see Verso and Clea in the booth? You think we might get a Simon backstory in the upcoming DLC? Maybe. I can see that. I do think that, like, say, like Final Fantasy X, a lot of the side content is like brutally punishing. You know, like dodging a lightning for like 100 times or whatever. The jump rope in uh, FF9, etc. But yeah, I just realized you were reading YouTube chat. Most streamers only care for Twitch. To be fair, we were multi-streaming on Twitch, and it was killing our stream, so we had to do YouTube only. But I try to apply to both. It'd be cool if games stopped telling us about side quests so we can find them ourselves. Well, I mean, that's the thing though. It's there to remind you, like, oh my God, the game has so much content. You're getting so much for your money. This is actually like one of the like weird things that I actually liked about Final Fantasy 13. And I didn't think I liked it, but as I thought on it, I was like, oh, actually 13 was like pretty smart about this. And that there is no side content really in 13. But honestly, I mean, there's the hunts later on, but like for the most part, it doesn't barrage you with side content. It keeps you immersed in like the main story. I think it could have executed it way better. Don't get me wrong. But and they also could have had like mini games or other fun stuff like within the quest. But the point is that it is really hard to tell a story with agency whenever a million side quests pop up every time you get to a new area and a major thing happens, right? Now, this is one of the best things though about Final Fantasy and like the older Final Fantasy games is that there were no side quests for like 80 to 90% of those games. There were mini games, and you could spend a little bit of time playing those mini games. You could make discoveries, but it is not like it's not like you spent the entire game looking for those side quests. So crash question mark. Did we crash? We didn't crash, did we? We should be good, I think. Oh, you meant Twitch. I'm sorry. That scared the shit out of me, bro. Oh man. Let's be real. CS1 from SE only do side quests because it's expected of them. It shows they don't care for it and prefer heavy story focused experience. Yeah, at first I thought that was like, at first I didn't agree with that approach. But as I've like, maybe because I've gotten older, maybe because I've gotten more experience, my perspective changed. But now I'm like, that's actually a great idea. I think that's why Final Fantasy X is such like an incredible game, for example, to like go and experience, because there's a lot of choice and freedom within the experience of the game, but you aren't like drowning in tons of meaningless side quests along the way, you know? I think the side content in like older FF games actually felt like side content. You know what I'm saying? Like it actually felt like this is a thing you can do in the game additionally. And this is true not just of like Final Fantasy, but I think of all like the golden era JRPGs and a lot of games during that era in particular, was that a lot of the side quests felt like you can do this in addition to the story if you want to have like the ultima weapon, or you want to have like, you know, certain gear and magic abilities or whatever, or certain summons. But it's not an obligation. It's not constantly staring at you. And oftentimes you had to go and do a little digging. You had to go and figure out what that side content even actually was, right? It wasn't like you feel this sense of guilt for skipping through the side content, or you are going to miss stuff if you don't do the side content, or you'll be ill prepared to play the rest of the game if you don't do the side content. Side quest needs to actually feel like an optional short bit, not an entire damn intern of, yeah. Before trophy culture, the side content wasn't so much in your face. Yeah, I do think that like to some degree, trophy culture made game design a little worse because it made this mindset that you have to platinum in order for something to be complete. And I don't think that's beneficial for a lot of people's enjoyment. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people enjoy platinuming games. I am not one of those people. I do not platinum shit. I think that the reason I don't platinum is because every time I have ever attempted to platinum, I just fucking end up hating the game and I put it down, and then I just don't want to play it ever again. I just don't want to play it ever again. I'm just like, this sucks. I'm not doing the things in the game that I enjoy. I think that like, if a game is going to provide a ton of content, a ton of like, especially diverse content in it, then you should just be doing the content in it that you find fun and particularly interesting, right? Like, I don't want to do this shitty content just so that I could say, oh, I got the platinum. I did everything you can do in the game. I understand, and I'm not hating on anyone who feels that way. I'm not hating on completionists. I don't think that's like the wrong way to live or anything like that. But I do disagree with like the emphasis on things being made like that, and the necessity to have to platinum. If you want to platinum something, you should be able to do that. But I think that you should just play the game, and you should play the parts that you find fun. And if you find every single thing in the game fun, then you should platinum the game, and everything is like worth your time, and you feel like every single second was great, then please platinum the game. But if you don't want to do like, yeah, if you don't want to do the fucking pull-up mini game in Final Fantasy VII Remake, don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. Just skip it. Don't complete it. It's not worth you uh spending your very precious and limited gaming time on a game that you love, right? Like, think about how fucked that is, right? You are spending your precious limited gaming time on a game that you love, playing the part of it that you hate, so that you can have a platinum trophy, which really, functionally speaking, the only purpose that it serves is to show people and to tell other people on Twitter, I got the platinum for it, right? Because it doesn't actually do anything like functionally or tangibly speaking. It's just the thing to show you, like, hey, you did everything you could do. Like I said, if you enjoy all that content, do it all, please. But if you don't enjoy it and you think the fucking pull-up minigame sucks, then just put the controller down, bro. Like, if you only get like a couple hours a week to play games, please play some shit you enjoy. Like, please play some shit that's feeling like, holy shit, I'm gaming. This is so fun. Don't play shit in your limited gaming spare time where you're like, I have to be a fucking completionist. I have to like, I have to get every single trophy. Otherwise, don't. I just don't think that mindset. Personally speaking, I just don't find it's ever helped me enjoy games more. It's one of the few things I really agree with Nintendo about. I don't think that trophies and achievements have helped people like really enjoy games more. I know a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but I think that if you enjoyed doing everything in the game, you would do it anyways. We did everything in games before we had trophies. So, I 100% at like Mario 64 and Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. And I did that because, I just love those games, not because there is any type of indicator. I'm going to go pee real quick. We got 3 minutes. So let me do that before we start the stream or start the thing. Give me 1 sec. Okay. We're so ready. We're so ready. We got 90 seconds left. I'll turn their music on. Don't forget to shake twice for Texas. That's funny. I have my clown makeup on, expectations for the low. That's good. If you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. I shook it 26 times, brother. Just for good measure.
皆さんおはようございます。ステイトオブプレイ日本をご覧いただきありがとうございます。本日 MC を務めます梶裕貴です。今回はステイトオブプレイの特別編として日本やアジア初のゲームにスポットを当ててお届けします。大人気シリーズの最新作から個性豊かなインディータイトルまで最新情報をたっぷりご紹介します。ドラゴンクエスト7リイマジンドからスタートです。
I fucking told you, Dragon Quest 7. I fucking told you.
We made a promise to solve the world's mysteries, didn't we?
I know I'd regret missing out on the fun far more than any bother we might get ourselves into.
I haven't thought about it really. I should try doing all the things that humans do.
To find my own purpose. Something only I can do.
Did he prevail? Doth he yet rule over this realm?
This is the stuff! You and me battling side by side again. Flame Splitter! There's no time to waste. Here's to one last adventure.
Nice. Super exciting.
このドールルックと呼ばれるグラフィック素敵ですね。
This set is
そして
beautiful.
再構築されたシナリオには大人になったキーファがどのような物語が待ち受けているのかお楽しみに。さて続いてはちょっと穏やかな気持ちになれる2作品から発売時期の発表です。インコンビニワンストアメニーストーリーズはささやかな日常を描く心温まる物語。プレイヤーは小さな町のコンビニ店員となり棚に商品を並べたり
Yo,
顔
what?
なじみのお客さんと交流したりしながら選択を通じて物語を紡いでいきます。心地のいい効果音でリラックス、ガチャやコレクションといった遊び心のある要素でお楽しみいただけます。インコンビニワンストアメニーストーリーズは2026年4月発売です。コーヒートーク東京は東京の小さなカフェを舞台にしたノベルアドベンチャーゲーム。プレイヤーはバリスタとなり心温まる一杯を入れてお客様の声に耳を傾けます。人間はもちろん雪女やカッパなど日本の妖怪の末裔たちもカフェを訪れ悩みや喜びを語り合います。
The
コ
pixel
ーヒ
art
ー
on
トー
this
ク
is
東京は
amazing.
2026年3月5日発売です。続いてのゲームはおや急に静かになった気がしませんか。なんだか寒気も。さまざまな社会問題に切り込む人気ホラーシリーズブロークンロアから2作品が登場。1作目はブロークンロアアンフォロー。 SNS の暗い影に焦点を当てた一人称視点のホラーゲーム。見知らぬ不気味な家で目覚めたアン。脱出するため過去のトラウマや亡霊たちに追い詰められながらスマートフォンを駆使して出口を探していきます。ブロークンロアアンフォローは2026年 1月16日発売です。さらに本日はシリーズ最新作ブロークンロアアセンドを初公開。シリーズおなじみの一人称視点のサバイバルホラーにクライミング要素が加わりました。前作ドントウォッチに引き続き東京が舞台の今作、主人公のレンとユイは動画配信サイトでの名声を求め危険を顧みずに東京タワーに挑みます。そこで2人を待ち受けるのは妖怪66尾。ブロークンロアアセンドは2026年夏発売予定です。
So this is Minakami Village. A ritual so forbidden that speaking of it is taboo. And a place that must never be seen. If I could capture it with the camera obscura.
Hurry, leave the village. If you can get out of the village, you'll be able to escape your fate.
Don't let go. Together.
The twins, where are they?
I'm actually really excited to play this.
Accept the fate of the sacrifice!
The festival failed. It's all because we ran away. Mayu, we'll be together forever.
Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, Remake.
Shall we begin?
本日は光栄テクモゲームスよりゼロ赤い蝶リメイクディレクターの柴田さんにお越しいただきました。柴田さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
2003年に発売された
Okay,
ゼロ赤い蝶が今回待望のリメイクということなんですけれども、トレーラーを拝見して恐ろしさがさらにパワーアップしていたように感じるんですが、そちら何か秘密はあるんでしょうか？
はい、ありがとうございます。光と影ですね。ホラーにとって重要なところについてはすごくこだわってライティングして、見えるところと見えないところのバランスを追求しています。またそのキャラクターの肌の質感、透明感とか、服のこう物の感じですよね、もうリアルに表現しました。チーム忍者のアクションディレクターも参加していますので、バトルも楽しんでいただきたいです。幽霊がだんだん怖いものが近づいてくるのをじっくり見ながらギリギリで撮影するという、怖さ、ゲームシステムのいいところは踏襲しながら、実際のカメラのような、ズームだったりピントだったりという新しい要素を追加しました。またこのフィルター、カメラのフィルターがあると思うんですが、それを切り替えると、見え方が変わっていってですね、音量に対してさまざまな効果があります。その戦闘でも探索でも特徴的な効果がありますので、状況に応じて切り替えながら使って、ゲームを進めていきます。
早くプレイしたいですさあ、本日は発売日の解禁という嬉しいニュースがありましたが、他にも新情報をご用意いただいたんですよね。
はい、実はデジタルデラックスエディションも発売が決定しました。こちらにはデジタルアートブックや特別な衣装が含まれており、本日初披露となります。本日から予約受付もスタートします。予約特典も各種ご用意しておりますので、皆さんぜひチェックしてみてください。
発売が待ち遠しいですね。柴田さん、本日はお忙しい中ありがとうございました。ゼロ赤い蝶リメイクは2026年3月12日発売予定です。
Nice. Definitely looking forward to that.
そして光栄テクモゲームスからもう一つ発表があります。こちらの映像をご覧ください。
It was during what I believed would be my final battle.
Oh, is this a new Dynasty
You appeared
Warriors?
before me.
This is DLC for Dynasty Warriors 0. Or Origins, whatever the fuck it was called.
Fellow sons of the Yellow Earth, fly by my side. For together, we shall see the new age of peace with our own hands.
Visions of Four Heroes? That sounds like a fucking Final Fantasy as title. Visions of Four Heroes.
続いて9月に放送した「ステイト・オブ・プレイ」ではグランツーリスモシリーズの生みの親山内和則さんからグランツーリスモ7の大型アップデートスペック3が年末に配信されると発表がありました。本日は山内さんから追加のお知らせが届いています。早速見てみましょう。山内和則さんありがとうございました。グランツーリスモ7パワーパックでのリアルレーシングにご期待ください。さあどんどん参りましょう。記録と再生で道を切り開く新感覚レコードパズルアクションモーションレック。移動する、ジャンプする、そして動きの軌跡を記録して再生する。一見進めそうにない道も記録した動きを別の場所で再生すれば必ず突破できる。多彩なギミックを駆使して荒廃したステージを探索し機械に支配された世界の謎を解き明かしましょう。モーションレックは2026年春発売です。
Because I played 13 entirely in Japanese before, so
ワンダリングソードすべての DLC を同梱した完全版がバージョンアップされてプレイステーション5に登場。ピクセルアートで描かれる古代の中国を舞台にしたオープンワールド RPG。 主人公は英雄を夢見て旅に出ます。これこそが
the game looks tight as fuck actually.
プレイヤーの選択によって変わる20種類のエンディング、戦略もアクションも楽しめる2種類の戦闘モード、そして新たに日本人キャストによる日本語フルボイスを実装。
あなたと共にあるならこの命惜しくはございません。
2026年5月28日発売です。愛ソムニウムファイルシリーズ最新作伊達要は眠らない From 愛ソムニウムファイルがプレイステーション5とプレイステーション4に登場。特殊捜査官伊達要と彼の火種に埋め込まれた AI 相棒がさらわれたネットアイドルイリスの行方を追います。調査を進める捜査パート、真相心理を探るソムニウムパート、そして新たに追加された脱出パート、3つのパートを行き交い事件の真相に迫ります。プレイステーション5向けに進化したグラフィックで緊迫した物語が展開されます。伊達要は眠らない From 愛ソムニウムファイルは2026年2月26日発売です。あの伝説のゲームが20年ぶりにプレイステーションに帰ってきます。日本ゲーム大賞2025優秀賞も受賞した首都高バトルがついに復活。首都環状を舞台にカスタムした自分だけのマシンで400人以上のライバルと戦い新時代の頂点を目指せ。シリーズ独自の SP バトルはドライバーの精神力を数値化したスピリットポイントを削り合う戦い。速さも重要ですがライバルとの心理戦こそが勝負を決める鍵となります。首都高バトルは2026年2月26日発売。
Okay. Kinda alright so far.
パズル、RPG、推理アドベンチャー、そしてレースゲームまでバリエーションが豊かでしたね。さてここからはバンダイナムコエンターテインメントから DLC のお知らせです。塊魂シリーズ最新作ワンスアポンは塊魂に2つの新 DLC が登場。 第1弾塊魂ダンスダンスリミックスパック
Wait, there was a
第二弾
recent Katamari? I didn't
塊
even know that.
ネオリミックスパック5つの新しいリミックス BGM と10個の衣装アイテムをそれぞれ収録。各 DLC 配信時に特別な衣装アイテムを全員にプレゼント。最高のビートと新しいスタイルで今年を締めくくろう。ソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグがパックマンワールド2リパックに登場します。ソニックならではのスピード感が味わえる新ステージに加え、おなじみのギミックやキャラクターも登場します。さらにボス戦ではドクターエッグマンとの戦いが待ち受けます。パックマンワールド2リパックソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグコラボレーションコンテンツはプレイステーション5とプレイステーション4で
Okay, this is fucking
配信開始。
That's dope.
先月プレイステーション5で発売されたデジモンストーリ
This is
ータイムスト
DLC?
レンジャーシーズンパスの DLC 第1弾、
Yeah.
追加デジモン&エピソードパック1アルタネイトディメンションがついに登場。新たに追加される個性豊かな5体のデジモンととある人物たちを巡る物語が展開します。
その思いに俺たちも応える。
DLC 第1弾追加デジモン&エピソードパック1アルタネイトディメンションはこの冬配信です。今年8月に発売されたスーパーロボット対戦 Y から DLC が登場します。 DLC1 では銀河旋風ブライガーザ・ビッグオーフート探偵仮面ライダースカルの肖像の3作品が収録。3作品に関わる追加エリアミッションや追加プレイヤブル機体が楽しめます。スーパーロボット対戦 Y DLC1 は11月21日配信です。
さあお前の罪を数えろ。
今何か聞こえませんでした？全国のハンターの皆さんに朗報です。モンスターハンターワイルズ無料タイトルアップデート第4弾の配信日が12月16日に決定しました。このアップデートでは巨撃竜ゴグマジオスが登場予定です。さらにエンドコンテンツの拡充や季節イベント交わりの祭事も予定しています。12月16日から一狩り行こうぜ。続いてはソニックレーシングクロスワールドからのアップデート情報です。
Who are they bringing this time? There have been so many really cool collaborations for this game.
ソニックレーシングクロスワールド DLC スポンジボブパックは
Yeah, it's cool to see
11
Knights
月
in
20
there.
日に
I'm
配信です。
actually, I
続いてご
love
紹介するのは
Knights in the
アクシ
Dreams.
ョンアドベンチャーネバーグレイブザ・ウィッチ&ザ・カース新トレーラーの公開とさらに発売
The
日も
only
つい
game I
に解
owned
禁です。
on my Sega Saturn. And yes, I had a Sega Saturn for some reason. This reminds me of Hollow Knight. The artwork is really cute. Oh, that's cool. This is interesting.
ネバーグレーブザ・ウィッチ&ザ・カース開発責任者酒井康臣さんにお越しいただきました。酒井さん、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, this looks cool.
酒井さん、トレーラーではゴーレムのような敵と戦っていたシーンがとても印象的だったんですけど、そのボス戦の魅力、そして他にどんなボスが登場するのか教えていただけますか？
はい、レーザー攻撃を繰り出していた巨大なゴーレムは最初のダンジョン遺跡のボスです。本作のボスはそれぞれ独自の攻撃パターンや特殊なギミックを持っていて、一筋縄ではいかないようになっています。例えば植物のボスは風を使ったり、ドラゴンのボスは溶岩を使ったり、マリオネットのボスはプレイヤーが使う魔法と似た魔法を使います。ボスによっては特定の敵への憑依が攻略の鍵になることもあります。またローグライクの要素によってダンジョン内のプレイヤー強化も毎回異なるため、ボスに繰り返し挑戦しても新鮮な緊張感を味わえると思います。
酒井さん、スタジオにお越しくださりありがとうございました。
お前が今いるこの場所は世界で唯一 DBS を搭載した実験室だ。
DBS 起動準備が整いました。
3、2、1。アバターとは可能性の海からサルベージしたデータをもとに構築した誰かの姿だ。ラグナというのはお前がダイブの際に使用できるアバターのうちの一つの名称だ。
A side scroller.
つまり可能性のかけらとは無数に分岐する僕たちの未来の一部ということかい？
世界を救うためにはもっと情報が必要だ。
君はドクター・メルクリウスが何か隠していると思ってますか？
Art looks good.
たとえアバターとリンクしていてもデータで構成された空間の中でお前は異物だ。
このことドクター・メルクリウスに報告します。
あなたは可能性のかけらを一つ手に入れました。
全ては可能性だ。
ガフェル、やめてください。黒な獣、
サルベージだ。そうだろう。
This does look pretty
私たちが
cool.
解析しているあの記憶の正体、一体何？
Entropy Effect X. Okay. Oh, it's in like the Blaze Blue universe. Okay.
ブレイブルーエントロピーエフェクト X は完全新作ストーリー、そしてシリーズ過去作から直人黒金が参戦します。お楽しみに。さて、どんどん行きましょう。続いて冒険心をくすぐるラインナップを一挙にご紹介です。呪われた魔王デイモンと人間の子供が織りなす心温まる冒険活劇デーモン&ベイビー。探索要素とツインスティックシューターの戦闘システムを融合させた新感覚のアクション RPG。 アイテムを集めレベルを上げて新たなスキルを習得し、広大なステージを攻略しましょう。ステージはバラエティ豊かな敵やギミックがいっぱい。マシンガンやショットガンなど展開の武器を使って攻撃しましょう。魔王が赤ん坊を背負いながら戦い、その絆が深まっていく物語も大きな見どころです。子連れ魔王の壮大な冒険の幕が上がります。デーモン&ベイビーはプレイステーション5とプレイステーション4で2026年初旬発売です。ディスガイアシリーズのスタッフが手掛ける完全新作 3D アクション RPG 狂乱魔改ズム。主人公は倒した敵を獣魔として従え共に戦うことができます。強靭なドラゴンや妖艶なサキュバスなど獣魔の種類は全部で16種類。一緒に戦わせるのはもちろん、武器に変えて強力な技を放つことも可能です。全ての力を使いこなし、裏切り者から大切なプリンを取り戻しましょう。狂乱魔改ズムは2026年1月29日発売です。運命のトリガーはアンリアルエンジン5で開発された次世代のタクティカルヒーローシューターです。公開されているアウェイクナー10名に加え、新たにアタッカータイプのファリー、そしてディフェンダータイプのタタとその相棒ロボットビビが参戦します。分身を操り敵を翻弄するファリー、拠点を難攻不落の砦に変えていくフ 奇才エンジニアのタタ。それぞれの個性的な能力を駆使してライバルを打ち破りましょう。さらに待望の新マップも。高くそびえる城壁、複雑な地形、変化に富む路地によって構成されます。全ての戦闘が唯一無二の体験になること間違いなし。お気に入りのヒーローを見つけ、新しい戦場で世界中のプレイヤーと競い合いましょう。
Yeah, it's been alright. It's been alright.
ちなみに私は運命のトリガーにて両院の声を担当しています。他にも魅力的なキャラクターが勢ぞろいしていますので、ぜひプレイしてみてくださいね。次はスクエアエニックスの大人気シリーズ最新作、オクトパストラベラーゼロに関する発
Okay.
表です。
No disrespect to Octopath. I was just like, oh shit, maybe Final Fantasy 13 Remaster is gonna be a thing now. Oh shit. This is a pretty expected update. They did bait me.
You're finally awake.
If you can best me in battle, my technique shall be yours.
Oh, scarlet flame, blaze bright and cleanse this sacred land.
I like how a lot of these trailers and stuff are like still in like English voice. Maybe it's because we're watching the English stream and they put it in there. I assume on the Japanese stream it's like they play the Japanese version of the trailer.
All the riches of the world are mine. Why, I'll even give you this dirty little town you so love, to do with as you please.
Power and the fear it induces is the only thing that can control people. You're a survivor of Wishvale. I will see you punished with my own two hands.
After losing the town, I finally understand what's truly important to me.
Let's do our best to rebuild Wishvale into the place it used to be.
You said it. I'm ready when you are.
Fame is nothing more than pretense. Will you continue to grip the blade of revenge, consumed by hatred? Marvelous! Let the finale begin!
Oh, そしてなんと本日から体験版の配信を開始します。体験版はゲーム冒頭3時間をプレイできます。体験版でプレイした内容は本編発売時に引き継ぎが可能です。主人公のキャラクターメイクや序盤のストーリーをお楽しみください。本日はアークシステムワークスからマーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズプロデューサーの山中さん、アートディレクターの黒坂さんにお越しいただきました。
This game is going to be huge, man.
よろしくお願いいたします。マーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズはどんな思いを込めて制作されたのか、
Cage 4, that's just
ファンの皆さんにはどんな体験を味わってほしいと考えていらっしゃるのかお話しいただけますでしょうか。
はい、このタイトル、日本から世界へというキーワードを掲げて開発してまして、マーベルってもともとやっぱりアメリカで生まれてアメリカで育ってきた今や巨大なコンテンツになっていると思うんですけれども、それをですね我々日本人がどのように受け止めて、解釈して再構築して日本人らしくアークシステムワークスらしく出力していくかというところを非常にテーマの大きなテーマとして掲げています。その新しいマーベル、日米のカルチャーが融合したマーベルというのをファンの方にぜひ。
Yeah, because for a Marvel game, it looks Japanese as hell. Like the style of it, everything.
はい、で今回ですね、プレイステーション5にて第2回目のクローズドベータを
実施させていた
だきます。12月の第1週の週末を予定しておりまして、第1回 CBT、クローズドベータテストのキャラクターに加えてスパイダーマンとゴーストライダーがプレイアブルとなっております。本日はですね、2回目となるクローズドベータテストのですね予告トレーラーを持ってきました。こちらをご覧ください。
親愛なる隣人スパイダーマンだ。
さあ始めようぜ。地獄へのロードトリップだ。
Okay, there's going to be another closed beta. Hopefully more people will be able to get into this one then.
いやー、ワクワクさせられましたね。どんな展開になるのか期待です。トレーラーに映っていたのって X マンションのステージですよね。こちらは新しいステージなんでしょうか。
さすがよく気づきましたね。
そうですね。今回の X マンションステージ、いろいろな宝探しを楽しんでもらえるように、細かいネタだったり、ギミックだったりをいっぱい仕込んでますので、ぜひねプレイしてこちら見ていただけると嬉しいと思ってます。このステージは1エリアだけのステージになっています。エリアが少ないので、ちょっとね内容が薄いって思う方もいるかもしれませんが、こちらバトルの進行に合わせてドラマチックに変化するような面白い仕掛けを取り入れてます。
ゴーストライダーはダークで迫力あるキャラクターですが、ビジュアルやアニメーションをデザインする上でどんなチャレンジがありましたか。
はい、まずゴーストライダーを出すにあたって、まずキャラクター、すぐにゴーストライダーがいるので、そのキャラクターを誰にするのかというところで、かなり悩みがありました。今回ですねロビー・レイエスを採用させていただいたわけです。
なぜロビー・レイエスのゴーストライダーを選ばれたんでしょうか。
はい、今日の時点ではちょっと詳しくはお話できないんですけど、スト
What
ー
did
リ
you
ー的に
miss?
ですね、今回ちょっと
Dragon
若い
Quest
方
VII
の
Reimagined
ゴーストライ
trailer,
ダーを出したいというちょっと
a lot
事
of
情
other
が
smaller
出
Japanese
したかったっていう事情がありまして、
games, and
今回はジョニー・ブレズではなくてロビーの方を選んだということになります。
なるほど。僕もマーベルファンの一人として、そして声優としてユニバースにも関わらせていただいているので、今作がどのように広がっていくのかとても楽しみです。それでは最後に世界中のファンの皆さんに向けてメッセージをお願いします。
このゲーム、皆さんのお力をもとにもっともっといいゲームにしていきたいと思っていますので、ぜひ第2回クローズドベータテストにもご参加いただきまして、皆さんが感じたこと、ご意見ご要望をですねいただければと思います。
日本のアニメとアメコミが融合したマーベルの独特のア
Chat.
ート表現を
Did y'all reasonably like think KH4 was going to show
本
up
日は
at
素
this?
敵なお話を聞かせていただきまして本当にありがとうございました。
Please
あり
be
がとうございまし
serious.
た。
I could have told you like well, I didn't know it was happening last week, but I could have told you a mile away there would be no KH4 at this. Oh shit, Elden Ring? Is this Night Rain stuff? Yeah, it's Night Rain. It is definitely the least conservative Dragon Quest remake for sure.
Curse this Dreglord.
Hence the name Reimagined.
The aftermath of the long night.
I don't know what the consensus is on Night Rain because it reviewed, like for a FromSoft game, it reviewed really poorly. But then I spoke to like a bunch of people who play it and they love it and it sold really well and there's still a pretty strong community around it. So I think in their financial report, they said the Night Rain exceeded expectations, so apparently it's people like it, despite its launch being kind of mixed. People seem a little disappointed by Night Rain, but also kind of like it too. Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
お楽しみいただけましたでしょうか。私も早くプレイしたいゲームばかりです。 PS5 の5周年という節目に改めて PS5 の体験をご説明するとともにいくつかのニュースを共有します。 PS5 の体験といえばデュアルセンスワイヤレスコントローラーです。 PS5 をお買い上げいただくとすぐにアストロズプレイルームで体験いただけますが、キャラクターがステージを動き回る様がこれまでにない感覚でお楽しみいただけます。技術的にはアダプティブトリガーとハプティックフィードバック、そして
Wait, why are you telling me about this? I already own the
目で
controller.
見る情報、
Everyone
耳
who's
から聞く
watching
情
this
報、手で感じる
owns
情報の3つが
the
頂上され
controller.
て
It's a
生み出
great
される体
controller.
験です
DualSense 5 is probably like,
そし
I
て
mean, DualSense,
PS5
combined
は
DualShock
目を
and
見張るような綺麗な映像、
the
ストレスを感
DualSense
じない
is
スピ
probably
ー
like
ディ
one
ー
of
な
the
ゲーム
best
進行を
controllers
実現するための技術も詰め
ever,
込んでい
but
ます。
why are we
ネットワークを通じて進化し続ける体験、プレイステーションアップ、ファミリーアップを通じたスマホでの体験など、いつでもどこでもフレンドやコンテンツに簡単にアクセスできます。また PS5 においては数千の PS4 向けのゲームも遊ぶことができ、過去にご購入いただいたゲームに加え PS4 向けにしか発売されなかったゲームも遊べます。たくさんの方々にリビングルームの大きなテレビで PS5 をお使いいただいておりますが、プレイステーションポータルリモートプレイヤーを通じてリビングルームを超えて PS5 を楽しめるようなご提案も差し上げております。そして本日ゲーミングモニターを日本と米国で発売することを発表します。鮮やかな映像に加え、デュアルセンスワイヤレスコントローラーを充電できるフックも搭載しています。先日発表しましたパルスエレベートワイヤレススピーカーとともに
That would be great, like as just a feature in like on like my smart TV and not like its own fucking
どこ
monitor.
で
What
ど
the
のよう
hell?
に楽しむかの選択肢を今後も広げてまいります。最後に PS5 の5周年を記念して日本国内の皆さんに特別なご案内があります。日本アカウント日本語専用の PS5 をご用意します。
Oh, a Japanese. They're doing the Nintendo
希望小
thing.
売価格税込み55,000円と
Dang, they straight up copied
PS5 デジタルエディションで
Nintendo.
す。日本でより多くのプレイヤーの皆さんに
But that's a smart move.
PS5 そして素晴らしいゲームをお楽しみいただきたいと思っております。
Basically, they want to keep the cost of PlayStation cheap within Japan so that Japanese people can afford it. Please don't tell me that's like that's it. And there's no one more announcement. And that we really closed out with like Elden Ring, Night Rain DLC. Please. This can't be it.
.今日ご紹介した全てのゲームには作品ごとに異なる魅力がたくさん詰め込まれています。時には仲間と一緒に、時には一人でじっくりと。プレイステーションにはあらゆる遊び方があります。この番組が皆さんの次の冒険のきっかけになれば嬉しいです。それではまたお会いしましょう。ありがとうございました。
No fucking way. Wait, is that how much that is? The Japan only PS5? Let me look that up. Dang, that's a massive price cut. Holy shit. Yeah, $356 for a PS5 in Japan. That's actually fucking crazy. Wait, how much is Switch 2 again? How much is Switch 2 Japan only? Oh, dang. Switch 2 Japan only is $340. Oh, shit. So basically, a PS5 is now the same cost as a Switch 2. That's actually... That's pretty big. That's low-key the biggest announcement from the State of Play is that they cut the price of the PS5 in Japan only. But they priced it to basically be virtually the same price as the Switch 2. So Switch 2 and PS5 are like $15 apart. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a pretty solid move, man. I can't really knock that. That's a pretty fucking good value, you know? Especially right now where, you know, PS5 is in like the mid to late life cycle. Switch 2 is in like the early life cycle. So PS5 definitely will have the stronger library of the two, at least at the current moment. Just by virtue of PS5 being deeper into its lifespan. So that's pretty fucking solid because, you know, the price is going up everywhere else. So yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if it does feel a bit late for them to do this. Well, the problem is that it was reactive to Nintendo, right? It seems to me them doing this, them cutting the price in Japan, what Sony is trying to do is get back into the Japanese market. And they're trying to create goodwill by doing this, right? Because I'm sure that like hiring Yuki here probably was not cheap. And having him do like this episode, that was not cheap, right? Like normally they have like, you know, whoever the fuck doing these things who works for them. And it's never usually like a big deal. They don't spend much on it. But the fact that they got a very prestigious seiyuu actor to do this presentation, it shows to me that they want Japan back. I think that's what this is a precursor to. Now that's good. That's good for us as fans of Japanese video games, and it's good for the people in Japan. That being said, the best way for them to have gotten Japan was for them to not have fucked themselves over in Japan in the first place, right? So it's like, oh, yes, we want Japan again. But it's like, dude, you had it. You had Japan. You had market share there. You had a lot of dominance there, and then they just kind of gave it up. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get why they did, because at the time, Western video games were exploding, right? And at that period of time, a lot of Japanese developers were struggling. The output was poor. Not all of it, but a lot of it was purely because of the struggles of leaping from standard definition to high definition. And so the number of quality titles went down greatly. And so, yeah. The PS3 was the moment Sony threw in the I mean, PS3's generation was just so riddled with so many fucking mistakes, man. From top to bottom. PS3 will forever remain Sony's worst generation. Some people say it's PS5. I just don't agree with those people. I think those people don't have good memory on just how dire the situation was with PS5. I mean, with PS3. I think people remember the tail end of PS3 when PS3 got its shit together and PS3 started to be like a really good console and have like a ton of exclusives and stuff like that. But for like half of PS3's life cycle, it was ass. It sucked. It ruined so much stuff. They lost so much market share. It is the worst selling home PlayStation console, and for a good fucking reason. They dropped the fucking ball in the PS3 generation every way. Now, they greatly recovered it with PlayStation 4. PS4 was an amazing console. One of the best consoles of all time. I don't think I would get any pushback on that. I think PS5 is worse, to be honest. PS3 started worse than PS5, but at least PS3 got a ton of goodwill and exclusives. PS5 has almost no exclusives. So, I suppose I'm not judging it by exclusives, but rather by the positioning and faith in the brand. Whereas I don't think PS5 did the brand any favors, but I don't think it did damage to it. Whereas I think PS3 did active damage. But also too, with console generations, it kind of doesn't matter how a console generation starts so much as how it ends. Right? I would say, I reverse that. I would actually say how it starts kind of matters more, because if it starts off good, the momentum stays there. I mean, good with respect to the stakeholders, not necessarily the consumer, because they'll still sell as many consoles as they need. PlayStation 5 will definitely hit 100 million consoles sold. It's already outsold PlayStation 3. It'll probably sell as much as PlayStation 4. That being said, yeah, PS5 is kind of it's weird because, like I said, PS3 did the most active damage, but PS5 is just doing this thing where it's not. PS5 is not bad, but it's not great. It's just this very neutral thing that you can own. And it's just it's a piece of hardware and it plays games. And PS5 will sell on paper, but it's as otherwise, yeah. I will never forget $599 followed by crickets during the PS3 reveal all those years ago. Yeah. I mean, let's be serious here. The only reason Xbox 360 gained any traction was because Sony fucked up so bad that people who were longtime Sony heads for 2 whole generations went and purchased an Xbox 360 because they either couldn't afford PlayStation 3 or it just was not good enough for them to want to play it over an Xbox 360. Not to mention Xbox Live and all the other features. So most people just got an Xbox 360. So to have, tens of millions of people. Yeah, Xbox 360 came out a year sooner. And that also helped for sure. Yeah, Halo was huge at the time. 360 was cheaper and played better. Yeah, and most of the multi-platform games were better on 360. So 360 was the king of online gaming back then. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. 360 had a pretty great offering, and then PlayStation did not. King be cruel. I am not downplaying 360's impact, but I'm saying that in order for 360 to have that impact, it basically had to be because people fucking hated PlayStation 3. It's very much predicated on that, because otherwise, even if it is a great console, a lot of people just won't switch up because they have a deep parasocial relationship with the brand and the IPs associated with it and their preference for it, and they won't just betray that. Right? You have to keep in mind, motherfuckers really bought Wii U. Like, unironically, they bought Wii U, right? So, I mean, when people have those deep parasocial relationships, the console has to be really bad in order to get people to stop buying it. I guess people actually didn't buy Wii U, but the point remains. You nailed it. That's exactly what happened. The pricing of PS3 destroyed the brand, created new Xboxers. The games in the early days of PS3 were also rough. Anyone remember Layer? Oh, fuck Layer. Holy shit. That's crazy. I forgot Layer even existed. And it used the 6-axis controller. Amazing. I mean, 6-axis was so stupid, man. I fucking hated that controller. They just wanted to like cash in. They saw like we had motion controls and they're like, oh, we want motion controls in our console. And it's like, yeah. I got a Wii U because the Wii was great. Lesson learned. I thought Wii was... at first I really liked Wii, but toward the end of that generation, I actually like resented Wii. I think a lot of people have good memories of Wii, but it was like, I think it started out pretty strong with Twilight Princess and Wii Sports. But I do think there were too many waggle shovelware games for the system. The Nintendo first party stuff like Mario Galaxy was all really good, but like everything outside of that was waggle shovelware for sure. Do you think we'll see a trailer or a teaser for 7 Remake Part 3? I think we'll see it at the earliest the Game Awards. Did I see that Susie's in Broken Lore? Broken Lore? No, I didn't catch that. Holy shit. That's awesome. I need to congratulate her. The Wii is ironically my top 3 consoles of all time. So many incredible games. Let me think. What is my top 3 consoles of all time? I would say my top 3 consoles of all time are probably PS1 and 2 and Super Nintendo. Would be like the top 3. We started strong, but turned into waggle slot by the end, like a sick dog that needed to be put down, even though it breaks your heart. Yeah, yeah. It's just, again, the first party stuff stayed pretty good that generation, but like, I guess that's like always the thing about Nintendo hardware is that like you have to be like really knee deep into the first party stuff in order for Nintendo consoles to like rank super high. Because even for me, when I say Super Nintendo in the top 3, I still have to like, it's still because of like a lot of third party developers. So there's no way we'll spend even longer without KH4 news. I can't handle it anymore. Last time I got news, I got a Mickey Mouse image, for fuck's sake. Yeah, KH4 is looking like next generation at this point. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm expecting PlayStation 6 to be announced in or to release in 2028. I mean, I don't think it'll be next gen exclusive. I just think it'll probably be cross gen at this point. At this rate, by the time they show us Cage 4 again, I'll be 80 years old. The Cage drought is getting painful. Well, I think they wanted Missing Link to fill in the void for KH. But Missing Link got canceled. So, but also the fact that Missing Link wasn't a game on Switch 2 and PS5. Should have just been like a spin-off game. And not a mobile gacha slot. And this is also the problem that ties back into Dissidia Duellum, right? The problem is that they are the monetization of these games and the mobile format just kills them, man. What could otherwise just be good spin-off games that fans would buy in a hope that they can get whales, basically, to continue to pour in collectively millions of dollars each month. I don't know. Their mobile department has pretty much fallen apart, right? Like, it really is just Dissidia Duellum that is holding, Dissidia Duellum and Ever Crisis that are basically holding their mobile department together. And let me not forget Dragon Quest Walk in Japan. So it's the 3 titles mainly. Blitz, I absolutely love paying for a chance of a character, then a chance of pulling their OP abilities. I know, it's a gacha on a gacha. Exo Silent Kill, thank you for this super chat. When will we see more of KH for Night Sky? If I had to make a guess for the earliest time possible, I would say the Game Awards. And if it's not at the Game Awards, then I would say formerly E3 season, Summer Games Fest-ish area. And if we don't see it at that point, then I'm legitimately worried something is going on, like bad with the game. But so far, I'm not tremendously worried. Dragon Quest 12 being constantly delayed, action-oriented, basically made a Dragon Quest version of Final Fantasy 16 sounds horrifying to me, even with Horty at the helm. That would be like a nightmare scenario. I do not think that Dragon Quest should have its FF16 moment. That's for sure. And hopefully not. Duellum fun. I guess if you love subpar gameplay, I think it's fun. I have fun playing it. But the thing is that it's not that the gameplay is fun or not fun. The problem is that the gacha ruins the fucking game. The game itself is fun. It's actually super addictive. But the gacha attached to it fucking makes it garbage. Unfortunately. Kind of mind-blowing to me, this is the first time since the O's that KH is my most anticipated Square Enix game. FF is done for me, and Dragon Quest 12 is concerning with the rumors. I'm surprised you're this excited for KH4, considering that, did you like any Kingdom Hearts game other than one, Hylian? I was under the impression that you didn't. M2, thank you so much for the super chat. Will you be trying out Digimon Time Stranger? It's more like SMT than Pokemon. Yeah. I'm trying to finish Trails, which is a very long game, but I do want to play Time Stranger. So maybe I can get an opportunity to play it. Maybe I can make it my offline game. We can see. As a gamer who loves upgrade systems, gacha is evil. Is the evil antithesis to that? I mean, yeah, because gacha Gacha is basically like your skill and your dedication don't fucking matter at all. Right? That's what it means to have like gameplay elements be gacha. It is basically saying that no matter how hard you try, you would be better off spending money than you would engaging with this game's systems and mechanics. You have to think that the whole system is basically set up so that you will spend money, right? Which to some degree can be acceptable, like when it's not gating your progress, right? Like when it's cosmetics and stuff like that. But when it's basically saying you need to put massive amounts of money into this, and however much money you put into it is proportionate to the amount of value or the amount of like strength that you will get in this game, it sucks. I'll put it on the side of the screen. I don't trust misinput anymore. Dedication and skill is emptying your bank account. Yeah, basically. I primarily only like KH1 and Respect 2. I'm excited for 4 simply because it's the first KH game starting a new arc from scratch, and Nomina is more free with his versus 13 Dreams. Okay. I think that like, I mean, 2 is still definitely my favorite. I'm hoping that 4 is, I mean, I don't think 4 will be similar to 2, but I just hope that it's on par with 2 in terms of 2's combat and expression, because I actually think that, I mean, I would generally go as far as to saying that I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is the greatest action RPG maybe of all time. It's at least like a top 3. Like in terms of like pure action, not a hybrid like 7R. But if we're talking about pure action, no stop mechanic, then yeah, I would say that KH2 is the greatest action RPG probably ever made. I'll sum it up. Dissidia Duellum is a super fun game locked behind a gacha prison. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. It's a really fun game. I enjoy the fuck out of it, but the gacha ruins the literal shit out of it. Like, it fucking sucks, because what I see when I play it is this could have been a really great console experience. It could have been like a budget game where you buy the DLC season pass content, and I would have played it. If this was a $40 console game and every year they had like a $20 season pass, I would fucking buy it. Instead, it's a game that is basically going to be ruined by monetization on top of monetization. It is the antithesis to Opera Omnia. Opera Omnia was a very generous game that provided players a lot of value, and the gacha was there to, if you really wanted to get powerful or you really wanted to support the game, that's what the gacha was there for. I mean, Nomada's not like, I don't know how active he is on 7R right now, but I think he's more active on KH4 because he's stepped down from director for 7R, so he's only a creative producer now. Yeah, I want KH4 to bring back dry forms. I hate the fucking Keyblade transformations in 3. I'm sorry. I know some people think that shit is cool. I thought that shit was whack. I didn't like it. I thought that like 3 in general, KH3 in general just has too much shit going on. Like, it's not a very focused system. Like, there's just way too many things happening in KH3 at one time, and most of them feel arbitrary, at least when you're playing through the main story. And then I guess it you know, when you get to like the remind content, it's a little bit better. But yeah, leading into that, not so much. Well, as a mobile game, it has an expiration by default. Doubly so since Square is horrendously bad at managing their mobile games, and they always shut down in a couple of years. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Final Fantasy X has only been like officially my favorite for maybe like 2 years now. But I would say that because before it was between 7 and 10, but I favorite 7 OG, and then 14 was like incredible at one point. Maybe not as much recently, but 14 at one point was like my golden S tier plus, love the story. And then after Endwalker, I just kind of fell off, and I didn't enjoy the patch content for Endwalker. And then I really fell off when I started Dawn Trail. I started playing Dawn Trail, and I was just like, I don't feel this shit at all. This is boring. And I unsubbed, and I have not resubbed since. I hear that the patches for Dawn Trail are good. But the main Dawn Trail story was just so... But of course, that's somewhat to be expected. They switched writers, right? You switch writers, and you switch writing quality. And unfortunately, it definitely showed for me. Nothing was going to compare to Shadowbringers or Endwalker. Okay, so here's my thing. I'm not comparing it necessarily to Shadowbringers or Endwalker. I don't think that's like the fault of it with me. Granted, I didn't finish it, so I don't even think most people were expecting it to be Shadowbringers or Endwalker. I just think that like I like Stormblood. So I don't think the bar was that high, right? But also too, I think that like the comparisons to Shadowbringers and Endwalker are somewhat like I don't think that like they're necessary, right? Like or not that they're not necessary. It's that I don't think that Shadowbringers and Endwalker make people not like Dawn Trail. I think Dawn Trail just not delivering in the way people wanted. And I think that like we talk about Endwalker being good. Only 6.0 was good. Every patch after that for Endwalker was terrible. It was fucking awful. And I did not like a single 6.x patch. So 14 is getting better. 7.2 and 7.3 have been peak. Okay. That's what I hear. And maybe I'll return for that, but it's insane how fast 14 fell off. I thought Endwalker was driving hype for so many years into new expansions. Was shocked seeing how much changed. Yeah, okay. So the problem is that they should have hopped more directly into... Well, God, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems. And again, I didn't even finish 7.0, so I don't know even like the full extent. But from what I glean of the discourse of it, a lot of people were like, oh, it had to be slow because they're starting a new arc. And I'm like, that's not how writing necessarily works, right? Like, it doesn't have to be slow and uninteresting and like world build and like all this. It doesn't, I mean, there are ways to introduce a new conflict and to make it get interesting relatively fast. I think if we're going to compare it to Shadowbringers, in a single expansion, Shadowbringers introduces a brand new world, entirely new characters, a villain that we kind of knew was in the background, but we don't really get to know him until Shadowbringers. So, like I said, I can't comment much on Dawn Trail because I didn't get far. Most of this is predicated on how much I didn't like 6.x. I thought it was... Yeah, didn't like it. I like Zero, but then her character arc didn't really go anywhere for me. I didn't like the fact that they were just retelling FF4 basically. And I think that's a problem with me for 14 in general. Can someone give me context for that cat guy that gets memed to eternity from 14? People keep showing at him as if he's part of the cause. What happened? Wait, are you talking about... Oh, wait, are you talking about Wook Lamont? She's a girl. I assume you're talking about, or maybe you're talking about Graha Tia, but I assume you're talking about Wook. I have not, like, again, I haven't finished the full expansion. Or not even close, really. I got like maybe 10% in it, and I was just like, again, so maybe I'm misjudging it. This is not a review of Dawn Trail. This is just literally like my impressions of going through it. And I was like, man, I'm good. But because I was so negative about 6.x, I was just like, this is fine. Yeah, Wook Lamont. I didn't know she was a girl. Yeah, Wook Lamont. Well, to be fair, she is a cat. So, I mean, it's not like you can maybe just be like, oh, it's obviously a male or female cat. You know, I get it. X was inexcusably bad, but it's getting better and is at least better than that. Yeah. 6.x was the worst expansion patch cycle of all time. IMO, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, so I went into 7.0, and 7.0 didn't really interest me from the marketing cycle either. And then as I got into it, I was kind of like, but also I'm just going to be honest, like I felt like the story was over with Endwalker. I did. Now, obviously with Endwalker, they definitely teased, hey, we have like years worth of more stories and stuff ahead. They made a whole ass point to put Emmett Selk in the game to basically fourth wall break and tell you, bro, don't worry, we have more content coming and the game is not over, right? But I still felt like the story ended for me. I still felt like that was such a satisfying conclusion that I'm like, anything else in the story just doesn't feel like necessary. And so, did you play Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD? People have been hyping it a ton. Mike from Resident Arc has been praising it to high heavens. I own the game. Square has sent it to me, but I have not. I haven't even gotten to play 3 yet, honestly. So 7.x still has the issues and the nostalgia issue with how heavy all the bosses are FF9 references, though the story itself isn't like beat for beat FF9 like 6.x was with 4. Yeah, 6.x with 4. So I like it when like there's a ton of light references like Final Fantasy 3 and how they use that. But I think that Shadowbringers was kind of the peak of that for me. But only because it used FF3 in like a really clever way to enhance the lore of the game. But the problem I have with 14 in general is that I'm just so tired of FF fan service in the game. I'm like, just do something new. Just do something new and not attached to like a previous game and then be like, this expansion, we're going to be making 200 references to an existing game. I'm like, fuck, man. I have played a little bit of Final Fantasy 11, and it's one thing I do respect about FF11 a little bit more than 14 is that FF11 is not nostalgia based. FF11, everything in it is its own original Final Fantasy. And it is one through and through. It only references previous FFs as much as any FF does. And I think that makes FF11 a much more compelling offering in that sense. Not to say that FF11's story is better than 14's or vice versa, because truthfully, I don't know the story of all of 11's expansions and such, and 14 has the benefit of being newer and having better expression in its story and more easier to watch cutscenes and such. What are my most anticipated games right now? Oh, man. Fuck, I don't even know, actually. Wait, I did kind of make a list. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is the number one for me because I was a huge fan of Fire Emblem Three Houses. Funny enough, Fire Emblem Three Houses, along with Smash Ultimate, was the reason I even bought a Switch. It's because I was like, fuck it, I want to play Fire Emblem. And it was awesome. I had no regrets about that. Amazing game. Speaking of Nintendo, although it's not quite Nintendo, it's Nintendo adjacent. Game Freak, and they have Beast of Reincarnation. I think Beast of Reincarnation is looking really cool. It's interesting to see the developers of Pokemon essentially trying their hands at a Sekiro-like, or at least to me it looks like Sekiro. So those two games are really awesome. Other than that, Phantom Blade Zero looks really interesting. I think what made me interested in Phantom Blade Zero is when they said it's not a Souls-like, but it's also not a character action game. I was like, or it's not like a hack and slash, like normally in like the conventional sense. That's when I was like, oh, okay, now I'm interested. Because I feel like action games have basically become basically an action game is either trying to be Devil May Cry or trying to be Dark Souls. But originality in action games has, like, in my opinion, kind of gone down. Because everything either wants to be the new Souls or the new Bayonetta. And in terms of like stuff that like really feels like distinct away from those two umbrellas of games, there's not really as much. So I'm really excited for that. I mean, one of the reasons I like Sekiro too is because that's like a really original, cool feeling action game. It's one of the reasons I like Kingdom Hearts too, because Kingdom Hearts has like a extremely unique action game feel that I don't feel like any other action game really gets at. And so I feel like we used to have more action games that were kind of like not just, are you a character action game or are you a Souls? There used to be more than just the two branches of action. There used to be a whole plethora of different types of action, and now there's just Souls and character action, and I think that's like disappointing. So to see that Phantom Blade Zero is trying to do something that the developers are saying is not either of those things makes me excited, because I'm like, if you look at the discourse around the action games, it's like there is only Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Ninja Gaiden, and there is only Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro. And again, there are plenty of action games that are like not in the genre of either like say Kingdom Hearts, for example, which is not a character action game, nor is it a Souls. So I'm interested to see some innovation and fresh ideas from action games. I'm very surprised you didn't say anything about Tides of Annihilation. I am excited about Tides of Annihilation, but I don't have a good read on it yet. On like how good it's actually going to be. A lot of people are saying that it's like Final Fantasy 16. I don't think I really see that. I think it's more just like a general character action game. It just kind of reminds me more of like in some ways it reminds me of Astral Chain, because you have your stand and you fight alongside yourself, and it also has like a more just like a general Devil May Cry-ish feel. But I don't really, I mean, I'm excited for it. But yeah, I think it'll be like a, you know, I see it being like a really decent 8 out of 10 character action game. Have they shown any more since that initial trailer of Tides? No. I need to see more and know more. I think it'll be good. I would be amazed if it was like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I expect like a really humble 8 out of 10 good or even great action game though. I don't know if it's going to like push any boundaries. I could be wrong, but we'll see. But I am decently excited for it. And then Parasite Mutant would also be like on the list too. Which, for those of you who don't know, I did a video on Parasite Mutant. And basically, it is a Parasite Eve. I don't want to call it a clone. We'll just say it's heavily inspired by Parasite Eve. And it is picking up where Square Enix left off. So I find that pretty exciting. So hopefully, those are all good. What's your next video going to be on? When's the next big essay coming? Oh, boy. So we did Kingdom Hearts. We did Silent Hill F. I want to do something smaller soon. So I have 2 essays I want to do. One is another one on Final Fantasy X. And the other one is an essay on Final Fantasy Versus 13. So I don't know which one of those 2 I'll do next, but it might be the FF10 one because it'll be shorter than the Versus 13 one. Because the Versus 13 one will definitely be like 40 minutes long. So I'm probably going to start on the Final Fantasy X one tomorrow. Aside from Trails Horizon, next year looks slim for video games. For me, unless we get Persona 4 Remake or Sky Second release. The real problem being a niche gamer. 2025 looked pretty barren this time last year, right? And then it actually was more stacked than we thought it was. So I wouldn't say to count out 2026 just yet, not until we see the Game Awards. All right, Hylian, you have a good one, man. Always love your Versus 13 videos, Night Sky. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the only reason I don't want to do the Versus 13 one like right away is just because the amount of research I have to do on that and putting together the story of everything that I want to tell. The FF10 one will be a little bit easier. While that you can make a long essay about a game that never even saw the light of day. Like the title of it. Hold on one sec. One sec. Oh, Blitz says I should react to this on stream. Okay, let's do it.
Burst.
Oops. Okay, there we go. How did my thing get off center? What the fuck? I literally just... Here, I'll just do it like that. How the fuck did it... Okay, that's good enough. Let's watch it.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh.
And I'm demonetized. Thanks, Blitz.
I died, but I don't care.
That was so worth it.
Yo, you did. We cleaned up right there.
For context, this is me and Blitz playing the City of Duelum together. We got so far ahead.
Let me see if Clark's on. That boy, it says he played 13 minutes ago. I'm gonna send him an invite anyways. I'm sure he'll message us, but I'll queue up a battle for us. Let's go.
Yeah.
Clark is not messing with us right now. Why not, my guy?
I thought he said he had like a social obligation or something.
It says he played a match three minutes ago.
Maybe he's playing it at the social.
He's in the
Clark,
corner,
bro. He's like,
all right. I just sent like 3 invites. If any one of them joins, we'll ready up. I'll give him like a minute.
200.
That's pretty good for S22. Where'd you get it from?
Amazon, because I was going.
Look who's on the.
Oh my
Look
god!
What the fuck?
No way! No. So this was so funny because we were trying so hard to be like, Clark, join our team. Baby Seal for context, and Baby Seal was not replying to our messages. We couldn't get a hold of him. We were inviting him in the game. And then we see this motherfucker playing the game. We matchmake with him. And we're like, what the fuck, bro? Oh, hold on. Let me actually move myself into the corner.
This bitch.
This bitch. No fucking way.
I'm focusing. No, I can't, bro. He has
I'm in
fucking
the chat.
finish.
I'm like, you.
He's got finishing. He's got all cloud shit. We gotta jump him. All right, where is he going? He activated his attack. He's going up the mid path.
Oh, way. We out here trying to find this motherfucker. Be like, hey, bro, we're trying to play. And then we match. This is just unbelievable.
That's so funny.
Oh, my God.
Oh, we have to whoop his ass. I'm trying to get all these camps. Nice. Up, these two up top are ours.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything unless you are also there, because
yeah, I'm here with the Iron Giant.
I know Clark has all the best fucking shit. Okay. I'm brave farming.
I'm about to dump my shit right now, just to get a little bit ahead.
Okay, I am topped off. This also should give you guys a
Right,
little
they're
bit of
all
an
coming up
idea
top
of how this plays in this game.
Nice.
So
If I
essentially,
get this, we'll
like
be
what you're
level
doing
5.
here is that like you have to farm brave points in order to attack the boss, right? And there are essentially two ways to do that. You either go and purify the crystal, right? So by doing so, you defeat all the enemies around the crystal, and then you're able to purify it, and it gives your whole team a big bravery boost. Or you can also get bravery from killing other players or attacking other players. So you can either farm other players or you can farm the crystals. But the best way to do it is to farm the crystals, because you don't have to risk getting killed whenever you're farming the crystals unless someone comes and kills you because they want that crystal, right? So. Oh, shit. Here they all come.
Okay, there's some people here. Is that Clark? Oh, I'm on him. What's up, buddy? We just killed him.
Nice.
All right, I'm healing. Everybody's healed. Everybody's topped off. Great.
Okay.
This Prompto's
Okay.
low.
Oh shit! Prompto's gonna kill. Damn, Prompto
I got him,
killed
but he
me,
got
bro.
you. Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
I need to.
Fuck.
I have to use this.
Dang, I was
against
just
her.
about to burst, dude.
Bro, why is she not dead yet?
We cannot lose to this motherfucker, bro.
I can't hit
bro,
this,
is that a
she
Tifa
has
doll in
Armia
the
1
background?
and she's
Yes.
not targetable. Alright. Any help with the lightning? She's kinda deezed right now. Healing. Okay.
I'm gonna burst.
Alright, let me get this and then I'll burst with you. I think we should be level 7 right here. All three burst, let's go.
With Sayuri.
All three of us are bursted. Nice. Oh, I'm using everything. Let's go.
Fuck. Damn, this shit is close.
Clark's using his stuff. I can't really hit him. He's got finishing touch. Oh shit.
Oh fuck, they might win.
He has to go get points. So if we can get 99 here, I think we could do it, but it's too close.
I'm farming. Oh shit, someone on their team is bursting.
Yeah.
No!
That lightning had this move, Armia 1. She was
Look at
invincible
Kark
for like
casually
10
doing
seconds.
150k solo. I know. Of course. Fucker. Hate that fucking bitch.
Yeah. What an asshole.
Like, okay. So here's like the hilarious part of this whole thing, right? Baby Seal was autoing. So he wasn't even actually playing. He was literally using the fucking auto battle. But his kit is so good that he still was able to be MVP while he was just fucking auto battling and we were actually playing. His AI clapped everyone's cheeks.
Bro, accept our invite. I wish we need a third teammate.
You can auto battle, and it is a feature that does not belong in the game. Yes, it is the lamest fucking feature. It should not be in the game whatsoever. It is something that, again, when I make my review video on this closed beta, not even review, preview, whatever the fuck you call it. When I make my video on this, I am just going to straight up say, you guys need to remove auto battle. Straight up makes the game unfun. Why should anyone be able to auto battle in a PvP game that does not make any fucking sense? Could you imagine auto battling in like Smash or Tekken? Yeah, in PvE it's fine, but this is PvPvE, right? It's like that in Compass too. Auto is quite useful if you use it right. Oh, is it? Yeah, I feel like it just shouldn't be a thing though, too. Bots battling bots. I mean, that's essentially like what it's going to come down to, right? Is that there are going to be people with busted builds who don't even actually play the game, letting it just play itself. That's so funny, but yeah, they shouldn't have that. Yeah. It's a terrible addition to this game. Now the game it's based on, Compass, apparently it has it, and I guess it worked in that, but I personally don't like it. It's crazy how his auto never engaged in combat with us. It only focused on the boss. Yeah, because you don't win by killing other players. You win by killing the boss. But like a lot of people play and they just love fucking doing PvP. And so all they want to do is fight, which is good if you're fucking busted and you're successfully jumping people and you're brave farming off of them and doing all that stuff, or you're stopping them from attacking the boss. But a lot of people unnecessarily engage in PvP to just because they like doing it. which is fine because if you can win games, then that's a successful strategy. But it's not even necessary to win. Probably more necessary at a higher competitive level for sure. But like, focusing on the boss is most
damaging
important
too, because I don't have like Omni Slash, and that's like Cloud's big damage to the giant. Let me switch. I'm switching out this other ability.
This is why I can't get into this type of shit, man. I'm just like, I'll enjoy it, and then someone just comes along and spends more money than me, and they're better than me, and I can't even like.
They use wallet. They use wallet no jutsu.
Yeah, basically, bro.
All right, so we got a cane. Man, his outfit sucks, bro. That shit is ass.
I know. It's definitely like the worst one of like all the outfits that they did.
All right.
We need to help out our teammate.
I got the C. I'm backing off. Healing.
Oh, of course,
He's
invulnerability move.
All right, I'm gonna stun him.
I feel like I can't even damage people, like, cause that's how.
All right, I killed him. We killed him. Nice. Let's go ahead and. Oh, we can take this one back. Okay, good. We're about to get another level. Yo, Malboro, bro, you stank. Healing.
I am under fucking attack.
I'm providing as much support. Let's go. Big damage. Burst, burst. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh shit,
bruh. I died, but I don't care. That was so fucking worth it.
Yo, you did. We cleaned up right there.
Burst, bro. We got so far ahead. Yeah, dude, GrabCon, dang, it has like a 1 minute cooldown, which is kind of crazy.
But do you feel like your abilities are activating more often with it? Like cooldown wise?
When I used it? I think so. Yeah.
If we can get another 999, we can win because I have all my shit. So I'm just going for objectives now. I'm not even fighting. Nice. I'm going back to E.
Oh shit, I am under fucking attack.
Live.
I got 9-9.
All right, go, go, go. Do the big damage.
Oh shit, someone else is bursting too.
It's their lightning.
Oh no.
Fuck. All right. Oh my god, I just need one more. All right, fuck it. We ball. We ball. Where's Malboro?
No, fuck. No.
We got it. We got it. We got it. Watch this. Watch this. We got it. We got it. We got it. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yo, I went all the way back to E just to get that bravery.
Oh my god.
GG's.
Let's go.
That cane, taking out that cane in the beginning was, I think, key because he just fell so behind.
If you can get someone before the boss comes, you're good, man. Like, I love how much the victories do for your points. All the damage that's been done to my rank basically got undone by like that one victory.
Yeah. Let me see if I get lucky here and can draw Omni Slash. Because if I could draw Omni Slash here, bro, it's a wrap.
Let me see if I can.
I gotta fucking ultra rare ability for Warrior of Light.
It's always the motherfucker you don't ever want to play as that you get the thing for it. I got all these things for Cloud, and I'm like, I'm gonna do one more draw. Fuck it. It's not like this currency is gonna like carry over. So strike. Bro, you're not gonna believe this shit.
What's up? What's up?
Took the shit. You know?
Damn! Hey, yo, let's switch accounts real quick.
I know.
Damn.
Good video. This is cool. Like, this is like the new collaboration feature on YouTube that you can do, where it's like it basically allows you to like group upload a video, so all of your channels are essentially like part of the video. So as you can see, like all three of us are there together. It's interesting because I should be subscribed to everyone here. What happens if I hit the subscribe button? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But this is really cool now. This is great because it makes collaborating on YouTube videos way better. Because now, like, anytime I collaborate with someone, you see me anywhere, you see someone else on my channel, etc., you can just hit the sub button, all the channels appear. And also, not only that, this feature basically pushes out to everyone in like, so like it'll push out to my subscribers as well as like Baby Seal subscribers because Blitz uploaded it. So it's really cool. So like, say like you're following someone, like let's just say like you're following Dr. K and you want to watch every Dr. K video that he ever uploads. Well, now it's like, okay, well, if someone uploads and they hit collaborate with Dr. K, it would go out to his subscribers and they would say, hey, your favorite content creator was featured in like this podcast or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's such a good feature. That's such a good feature. That's a feature that benefits creators. It benefits fans of the creators, because now it's like you don't have to chase down, you know, everything like your favorite creators doing. Like you literally just get like a notification, say, hey, they were on this channel. You can go watch it. They were on this podcast. Go watch it. So easily like the best feature that YouTube has added in like a really fucking long time. Zidane is a menace, and they buffed his damage last night. Oh shit. They need to nerf fucking Cloud. Cloud is fucking busted right now. Every time no. They need to nerf Gaia. That's who they need to nerf, because every Gaia main I run into is fucking nasty. They play mean. I saw Prompto got buffed too, and Cloud's overall damage for some reason. I'm down to run with you. Show me some Zidane. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I haven't played with too many like truly great Zidane, so I'm excited to see one if there is one. So if you guys want that video, you want to share it, you want to rewatch it, it's right there in the chat. Yeah, Gaia is fucking insane. Gaia is so broken that time manipulation is so cheap. I know, that shit needs to be straight up nerfed. Breaks the fucking game. Awful. I hate it. Every time there's like a semi-decent Gaia main, they are always going to be MVP. Every single time. Gaia is busted. Oh, I get this same bot in my comment section. This like booty cheeks with like maybe a cat on top. Okay, I think we are going to call it a stream here. I'm going to go eat dinner. Thank you guys so much. Unfortunately, the state of play was more like the state of getting played, as it often is. But I will see you later this week, probably for more trails. All right. Love you guys so much.